Hello, church family. I want to bring you a devotional thought for today. Today is what's known as Maundy Thursday, the day before Good Friday. It's the day when Jesus instituted communion with his disciples. It's the time with the Garden of Gethsemane. There's some really interesting bits. And today in our reading plan, we looked at Matthew chapter 26. As I was reading through Matthew 26 this morning, I was really struck by the intensity of how much tension there is in this passage. I like everything fairly smooth and placid, and everyone to be happy and connecting well and getting along nicely. But as we read through this passage, Jesus is constantly facing opposition and frustration and pushback, and particularly from the people that should have supported him the most. I was struck by the fact that the priests and religious leaders should have been the ones who freely welcomed him in and said, "You are God Most High, we will honor you and worship you, we will serve you faithfully and well." But instead they fought against Jesus, they accused Jesus, they rigged up a trial with all kinds of false accusations against Jesus. I think about the disciples who were his closest friends and serving alongside him. They're harsh and they're critical with the woman who's worshiping Jesus. They're arguing about their own place and their own standing. There's tension with each other. They all abandon Jesus. Peter denies him 3 times. Judas literally betrays him to death. And even when Jesus is in the garden and he's having this moment with his closest friends, he says, "I am overwhelmed with grief to the point of death." They seem to not even be able to care enough to stay up with him and pray for an hour. I'm reminded of the fact that Jesus understands really clearly what it means to feel disappointed or hurt or frustrated or opposed in all kinds of different ways. And as we head towards this Easter season, I know for some of you, this is maybe a bit of how you're feeling. You feel like there's different kinds of tension than you wish that there was. You feel like there's an element of uncertainty. You perhaps feel a sense of disappointment about the ways that things are being celebrated. If these are the spaces that you find yourself in today, I want to encourage you just to take the time to bring these things to Jesus. He understands better than anyone else all of this stuff. And on that very first Easter, he understood this really, really well and walked it through. I'm also amazed looking at Jesus that he didn't just sort of silently move through it, but he continued to encourage people to do what was right all along the way. And even when the people came to arrest him, he said, "I was in the temple all the time. Why didn't you try and arrest me then?" He highlights the injustice in that way. He's not sort of a silent martyr moving through. But I'm also amazed at the depth of love that Jesus shows for everyone. The ways that he's able to be patient and kind and compassionate. The ways that he's willing to persevere and to suffer. And especially when he's being on trial and people are spitting at him and accusing him. They're violently slapping him. It's this really awful, awful scene. He's able to just hold himself together and not fight back in any way. As you move through this season, if you find yourself in spaces of tension or uncertainty or fear or frustration or disappointment, would you ask Jesus to give you everything that you need to persevere well, to live out this season well? Would you invite him into your Easter so you can experience it exactly as he desires for you? May God bless you.